How you doing, everyone? Welcome to this episode of the Cajun Conservative. You maybe have thrown off by the intro music. Giving you a heads up, unfortunately, we cannot use the former intro music that we used to. So that's one announcement today that I got to give you. But it's okay. The Cajun Conservative is still here, and we're working on a new intro intro for the show. But hey, welcome to the Cajun Conservative Show, talking about life, talking about liberty, and talking about the pursuit of happiness, and showing the world that Cajuns do have intelligence. So this week I do not have no guests. It's just me. And look, I like having guests on. Just for the past 2 weeks, I have been I've been letting stories slide. So I got a jam-packed day today, ladies and gentlemen. Jam-packed day. We got all kind of stuff going on, and I think it's going to be pretty fun to go ahead and talk about it in the next few minutes. Hope everyone's having a good day. Hope everyone had a great and marvelous Resurrection Sunday. Easter Sunday was this weekend past, and had some good vittles, as my friends up in the north would say. We had some crawfish. We had went fishing last Saturday and had a couple of good sized brim, and just had a relaxing weekend, guys. And sometimes you have to do that. And a holiday like this, we're supposed to have a 3-day weekend. Didn't happen because we had some stuff to do, but still had a good Saturday and Sunday, and it's still, at this time of recording, still Sunday, but you're hearing this on Monday, which we're going to talk about some changes in the schedule for the Cajun Conservative Show. Not a decline, but we're adding, and I'm going to get to that in a couple of minutes. Probably at the last segment, I'll go ahead and announce that, so go ahead and stick around. If this is your first time listening to the Cajun Conservative, welcome to the family. It is an honor and a blessing for you to be here with us today as we go ahead and talk about current world events in the state of our nation. Sometime I wonder, how could it get any worse? We're going to talk about that in a few minutes. Look, folks, and that's the thing, you know. There's never a time when I come in this show saying I don't have nothing to say, because the left and even the right always gives me material. And there's a lot of people that ask, well, how do you get your material? What you do? Man, I study, I read, and there's this stuff that goes on, and we're going to talk about this week's event in a few minutes. But if this is your first time, welcome. We're excited for you to be here. If you have not yet, please hit that subscribe button and hit the follow button. Go like me on Facebook. Let's blow up the Facebook page. About to hit 900 likes. I want 1,000 likes, guys. I need 900 though first. Go ahead and share it with a friend. Share this episode out. We are now on YouTube, guys. So go and subscribe to the YouTube channel. Hit that bell. It is, I started a lot different than my counterparts. A lot of them started on YouTube, jumped to Rumble. I started on Rumble. Now I'm on YouTube. I'm on Rumble, YouTube. I'm on Apple's podcast. I'm on Google Podcasts. I'm on Spotify. You can watch the videos on Spotify. You can watch the videos on Rumble and YouTube. Everyone, go check it out. Look, let's grow this podcast. Let's make our voices heard. Let's make the voices of conservatism right. Let's go ahead and let's bring this change back to our Constitution. So let's go ahead and jump into the topics, which this week was surrounding Elon Musk. Now, you might ask, who's Elon Musk? If you don't know, he is the CEO of Tesla, and he also Sky Space or SpaceX company. And look, until these last 2 weeks, everyone, the left love Elon Musk. The reason they loved Elon Musk is because of Tesla. Now, if you don't know, Tesla is an electric vehicle, and you have to charge it with a battery. And I think it's like 8 hours lifetime, and a lot of people love Tesla. A lot of people think that this is the future, an electric car where we can go ahead and get away from gasoline. We can go ahead and get away from fossil fuels. We can go ahead and get away from all this stuff that is hurting our environment. Little do people, but the left loved Elon Musk until about 2 weeks ago. Then came this big shocker that Elon Musk out of the blue. Well, correction, Twitter stock shot up for some reason. And people wonder, well, why Twitter stock shot up? Now, look, me personally, I have a Twitter page. I made one for the Cajun Conservative Show. You can go find it at the Cajun Show. And you're going to see our logo and all that stuff. And I go ahead and I start posting on Twitter. But Twitter is more leaning to the left. And because of that, Twitter has been losing money constantly. Twitter is not as big as Facebook, folks. I do majority of my advertisement, and half of all my show stuff goes through Facebook. Facebook is the biggest tech media company out there. Twitter is far, in my opinion, a number 2. But Twitter has not been doing that well because they have censored people like me on the right. When we talk about stories that does not line up to what they believe or what they are trying to push their agenda. So Twitter has a bad reputation for censoring folks. But anyway, about 2 weeks ago, Twitter's stock shot up. Why? Because of Elon Musk. Elon Musk went ahead and bought almost 10% of the company, just over a little bit of 9%. He became the biggest shareholder of Twitter. When this came about on Monday, it was revealed that Twitter asked Elon Musk to go ahead and be part of the board, which he declined. There's a lot of things behind this, folks, about Elon Musk. A lot of people think Elon Musk turned it down, and which was predicted right, that he was going to try to go ahead and buy more of stock for Twitter, or he was going to go ahead and buy it out completely. But because of Elon Musk buying almost over 9% of stocks, he became a big dog in Twitter. And why did Elon Musk went ahead and bought this stock into Twitter and try to get influence into Twitter? It was simple, folks. He wanted to go ahead and bring back free speech. Like I just said, Twitter has a I'm trying to think of the word. I don't know why I can't think of it right now. Repetition of going ahead and shutting down conservatives. Going ahead and shut down people that they don't like. Oh, Isaac, that's hogwash. Really, let's talk about Donald Trump, for example. Donald Trump ran his whole 2016 campaign off of Twitter, of his tweets, of what he thought and what he, and even in the White House, of what he thought and what he said that could be done. President Trump is the first president of the United States to ever be banned off of Twitter. He is still banned off of Twitter. A while back, he had a little trial or whatever, and he tried to get back on, and they told him, no, you're still banned. You're still suspended. Why? Because Donald Trump, in their opinion, caused the insurrection of January 6th. So because of that, Donald Trump has been removed from Twitter. And it's just not him, folks. A lot of politicians have been banned from Twitter. A lot of people, and look, this is the funny thing about Twitter, folks. It's never nobody on the right. Everyone that's on the right, or everybody that has a conservative mindset, has to be on their toes. They're like walking on eggshells. And look, folks, I deal with this on a weekly basic. I have to be careful what I say on the platforms that I am on, including Twitter, including Facebook, including YouTube now. The only ones I really don't have to worry about is Rumble. But I have to be careful on Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts. Now, don't get me wrong. I don't disagree with some rules of what people should say if you put out threats or you put out false information. That's why when I do this show, I make sure that I pick reliable sources like Fox News, and they're not really reliable all the time, but CNN or the Daily Wire or the Daily Caller or New York Post, because I know people are out there to try to stop the rights movement. But anyway, Elon Musk goes ahead and buys this, and Twitter goes up in a storm. He says it's because of free speech. It came out that on Thursday of this week, that Elon Musk offered to buy Twitter at the tune of $43 billion, not million, not thousand, $billion. Now, according to the Daily Caller, the left went berserks. The left was trying to say how this was bad for democracy, how this was bad for the low man on the totem pole, because a man that is rich and has money like Elon Musk wanted to go ahead and buy Twitter and take it from a shareholders to a private corporation. It's funny they wasn't saying that about, I think it's Jeff Bezos from Amazon, when he bought out the Washington Post. Remember when that happened, the people that are saying now it's bad that Elon Musk buys out Twitter. It's bad because he's gonna give people the chance to talk freely on Twitter. How dare they? And this is showing that the left's mindset and the left's thinking is correct. That evil white rich men are buying out companies that people are getting rich off of, and make himself more rich. This is stopping democracy, folks. They wasn't saying that about Jeff Bezos. I believe it's Jeff Bezos from Amazon when he bought out the Washington Post. If you go back and look at that purchase, the left was praising him. Oh, yes, this is perfect. The Washington Post is going to get recognition again. It's going to go ahead and people are going to be proud of the Washington Post. A man like Jeff Bezos bought it out. Oh, yes. Oh, great. What's the difference? See, Jeff, I'm going to say the CEO of Amazon is a left-leaning person. And see, he's going to make sure that the left gets their opinion. Now, Elon Musk, I don't know all about Elon Musk. This guy does not fascinate me enough to go ahead and study his life. But the way he's talking, even if he is left-centered or he's more leaning to the left, he's worried about our free speech as a nation. Because, ladies and gentlemen, our society is built. Our whole nation is built upon free speech. The First Amendment and the Second Amendment is getting attacked throughout the whole left's agenda. The left don't want you to have free speech. The only time the left wants you to have free speech is when you line up with them. Yes, if you line up with the left, you can go ahead and talk about all you want. It don't matter. And if you tell me the left doesn't do that, really, let's talk about Joe Rogan. Joe Rogan was people were threatening to boycott Joe Rogan because he let someone on there that had a different view of the current pandemic than the people at YouTube or wherever, or the big tech companies. People wanted music stars were pulling their music off of Spotify in protest to Joe Rogan. Now, I'm not condoning what Joe Rogan said, but at the same time, isn't this a country that's supposed to be presenting a free speech? That's why podcasting is so popular, folks. That's why people that want to have a voice, they make a podcast like yours truly. I have a podcast. I have another podcast, and it started way before this one. But I have the freedom. I'm supposed to have the freedom to go ahead and voice my opinion. That's why I tell people I'm not a news organization. I quote news stories, but I'm not a journalist. I don't quote the news. I quote my opinion, and I label this show as an opinion show. But I don't go ahead and make lies. I understand both sides of the coin. But it's kind of funny. It's more towards the right. And that's what Elon Musk wanted to buy Twitter for. Now, the left, like I said, got their cassons in a bunch. They started fighting off all cylinders, which came to a point on Friday of last week. Elon Musk, the board at Twitter, went ahead and did something called a poison pill policy to go ahead and stop Elon Musk. What that is that the people that don't have that much shares, they sell those shares for low price, and the people like Elon Musk and like if I had $43 billion and I wanted to buy a couple of shares, I have to buy them at the highest dollar. So they're trying to balance it out, but they're trying to stop Elon Musk from buying Twitter. Basically. Now, it's kind of funny, folks. The man that's trying to say he wants to promote free speech and to promote democracy is fighting of people like the Saudi Arabian king that owns some of the shares of Twitter. This man don't like free speech. Why is a man like this I don't know. I'm just being honest. Ladies and gentlemen, you have, this is the problem with this whole situation. And this is showing how big tech is. And the people that are sitting behind it. They don't want people that have the mindset you have to have free speech. And like I said, it all depends too, because if you believe, look, if I was called the Cajun liberal, me and the Cajun libertarian picked about that last week. I'm waiting for someone to come out and create a podcast or a show called the Cajun Liberal Show. But let's just say if I was a liberal and I would have said I'm the Cajun liberal and I talk about everything under the sun that what the left believes in, I promise you I would not be getting censored. I would not be getting, it would be flowing. And see, that's what the left wants. The left wants you as a person, if you believe in the left's ideology or you have a leftist mindset, you can talk all you want. You got the freedom of speech. You can talk how long, it don't matter. You can talk. But if you're on the right, you disagree with us. No, you can't say that. That's misinformation according to our fact checkers that we hire, that we know that are leaning towards the left. Like political fact. They're biased. Every time I see them put a fact check on something, it's on a right or a conservative's point of view. And this is just showing how big tech is. Now, there is reports. I believe it's Elon Musk. I think he said the Daily Wire put out yesterday, Twitter poison pill plan to back Elon Musk from buying the company. Buying the company may not be enough because Elon Musk. Now, this man, like I said, and it's the same thing what I said with I was talking about a rich man the other day. I can't think of his name, but Elon Musk is a smart man. If he got a Donald Trump, I said Donald Trump's a smart man. He made money. Elon Musk and what the field that they did, they made money. Mark Zuckerberg, all these people, they have to be smart in some way, shape, or form to go ahead and make all kind of money. So Elon Musk has something up his sleeve. Will he buy Twitter? Will he go ahead and make the money? I don't know. But I see this as an attack on free speech because that's the whole reason they're not letting him buy it. If he said, hey, I'm not promoting free speech, I'm not going to go ahead and promote, I'm going to promote a leftist agenda, Twitter would be his today. That is my God honest opinion. I'll be right back after this short break in a few seconds. How you doing, everyone? Isaac here. I'm the Cajun Conservative, and I want to thank Brother Lanny Hayes from Hayes' Dump Truck Service for their generous support of the Cajun Conservative and Brothers Just Searching. Hayes' Dump Truck Service serves the Lafayette and surrounding areas. If you have any job that you need done, like cleanup or hauling material to your job site or your home, we haul limestone, we haul sand, we haul topsoil, any type of material you need. If you're in the Lafayette and surrounding areas, please call Brother Lanny Hayes at 337-852-8043. Remember, Hayes' Dump Truck Service, where Jesus is Lord of the company. When this old world seems to get
and strength. You're my peace of mind. This old world seems to get me down.
All right, everybody, welcome back to the second segment of the Cajun Conservative. I want to thank Mr. Lanny Hayes of Hayes' Dump Truck Service for allowing me to use his music today. It's my dad, so hey, he said, yeah, sure, you can use my music. So, which is pretty good for a business like I am. Hey, I can use music for free. Anyway, so guys, going back to Elon Musk for a second. The left, like I said, folks, I think there is an attack on free speech, as there is an attack on the Second Amendment. And look, I'm seeing this done throughout the week this week, especially with the subway shooter in New York, and then they had a shooting in North Carolina. At the time of this recording, they had one at a party or something of that nature. And you look at this, folks, and you see these shootings, and the first words out of the left mouth is, "Oh, it's the gun's fault." It's not the individual that went ahead and took the gun out of the case and put it together and put the bullets inside of it and went travel with the mindset, hey, I'm going to go ahead and hurt people. I forgot the individual's name, but my friend and fellow Rumble and YouTuber Scott Ford mentioned the guy's name. That his YouTube is down now, but his YouTube was full of anti-Semitic thoughts. Now you might be saying, well, what? This dude was a white guy? No, I believe he was a black guy. Which don't matter with the skin color. It's just the thoughts of a person. If a person is evil, or if a person has evil thoughts or hatred thoughts towards people, and they go ahead and they say, well, we're going to take a firearm, we're going to load it, and we're going to go hurt people. Is that the firearm's fault that this man decided to go ahead and put bullets into a firearm? The gun didn't wake up and say, hey, I want to go ahead and put some bullets. No, they didn't say that. But the left says, hey, if we get these guns all out of this country, this won't happen no more. This won't happen. This was done because a person had the right to take that gun and do what they needed to do. Well, first off, if you study the Second Amendment, as I have done, it was to protect your individual rights from predators, and if the government ever thought they were too big, they can go ahead and you can go ahead and protect yourself. It wasn't for hunting. It wasn't for nothing of that. And me and the Cajun Libertarian talked about that last week. Go check out that show. My conversation with the Cajun Libertarian, very interesting one. But as the First Amendment right here. Now look, Twitter, I don't know what Twitter's going to do. Like I said, this poison pill policy that they put together, like I said, look, I'm going to say this about Elon Musk. If a man has $43 million and he really wants something bad enough, he's probably going to find a way to get it. Now, I wish I was like Elon Musk in that sense, to say, hey, I wish I had $43 billion just to drop at the dime of a hat to buy a company. I really wish. That's a lot of money. $43 billion, folks. Can you comprehend? But our First Amendment right is attacked by the left all day long. They censor, they go ahead and they try to stop the voice of the right. But thank God for companies like the Daily Wire and Daily Caller and Rumble and stuff like that, where even if they take us off, we still have a voice. We can voice our opinion. And on the shootings this week, look, I pray for the families, but taking away firearms from law-abiding citizens don't help the law-abiding citizens. It help the criminals that have the evil and perverted mind to say, hey, I'm going to go ahead and take an instrument that can be used to hunt and to be used to defend yourself, to go ahead and say, hey, I'm going to go hurt somebody else. That's defenseless. That to me personally, that's a coward. But of course the left ain't talking about that because, hey, come to find out that this person had a racial view of white people. See, you don't hear that side. This person hated white people. And on my definition, that's a racist. I don't care if you're white, black, purple, green, no matter. If you hate somebody else for the color of their skin, you're a racist. And I'll say that all day long. All right, let's go ahead and start. So this story is a couple of weeks old, and when I first heard it, I'm going to tie into stories that happened this week because we had two states that did right for the abortion debate or to save life. But this is what really started this off, for my opinion, with this week. So the governor of Colorado, Jared Polis, signed into law a bill creating a fundamental right to an abortion. So now it's a fundamental right for you to kill somebody. Wait, what you talking about? No, that's an abortion. Well, that's what I feel abortion is, murder. It was called the Reproductive Health Care Rights Law, while explicitly denying any right to the fetus or the baby. The bill is explicitly addressed the Supreme Court's upcoming decision, Dobbs versus Jackson's Health, Women's Health Organization, in which the court is expected to overturn the abortion percentage in Roe versus Wade. Now, Roe versus Wade, I think, is at 25 weeks, 30 weeks, something of that nature. Polis signed HB 22-1273, the Reproductive Health Equal Act, which the governor says confines a person's fundamental right. Clarifies a person's fundamental right to make reproductive health care decisions free from government interference. Now, ladies and gentlemen, this is coming from Fox News, by the way. Did you get this, ladies and gentlemen? Did you really get this? Did you read in that first line? This governor of Colorado signed this bill into law that says that it's a fundamental right to have an abortion. A fundamental right for one human being, and then at the same time take away the rights of the baby within the mother's womb. How backwards can we get as a nation? Think about this, ladies and gentlemen. This governor, and look, I don't know if he's Democrat. I don't know if he's Republican. I don't know what he is. And I frankly don't care. This individual signed a bill into law that says the person that is breathing, the person that is already born, that's making decision for the baby within the mother's womb, has a fundamental right to have an abortion. But the baby inside of the mother don't have no human rights or no fundamental rights. And look, I'm going to explain why the left thinks this way, folks. I'm going to tell you why the left, and look, like I said, I'm just guessing because I don't think a right-minded Republican would do this. And if he is Republican, I'll tell him he's wrong. He needs to go to be a leftist because him pulling this stunt is stupid. Democrat or Republican, I don't care. He's stupid. But this individual, and I have to assume he's part of the left. The left thinks this way, that a baby is not human. That's why you don't have the fetus don't have rights in this nation. Which leads me to the age-old question I've been asking ever since starting this podcast and following nuts like this stupid governor that passed this bill that says babies do not have rights in the mother's womb because they're not human beings yet. When does life start? See, this sounds like the former Virginia governor, Ralph Northam, that wanted to say, hey, we should give them 30 days after the baby's born and see if they want the baby. So I'm guessing 30 days after the baby's born, they're not considered human either, according to Ralph Northam. Now, Ralph Northam is not the governor of Virginia no more. That's Youngkin. Thank goodness now they got a Republican governor, lieutenant governor, and attorney general. They can maybe start fixing everything that's going on in Virginia. But this governor in Colorado apparently does not believe that a baby is a human until it comes out the mother's womb. Oh, the bill never says that. No, but perspective says that. Perspectives, if this man says a baby is not a baby in the mother's womb, when does it become a human? When it comes out? Also in this bill, they said a pregnant person. See, in this bill, they're trying to be politically correct because you don't know. You have some people that are that's been confirmed judge that don't know what a male or a female is because they're not a biologist. But science says what is a male and a female, but they go in there and put the bill a person. So this governor, if he graduated college, I guess he graduated at the lowest grade. But for this man, this individual to come out and sign a bill, and look, I'm just not gonna put all the blame on him, no, because it had to get to his desk. It had to get to his desk, ladies and gentlemen. So the legislators of that state of Colorado is just as dumb and stupid as the governor that signed that bill. Which, and look, I'm not trying to offend my friends in Colorado, but if you put them people in there, you're at fault as well. Don't tell me elections don't have consequences, ladies and gentlemen. The people that voted these nuts in there. And then those legislators to have the right to go ahead and think, let's make a bill like this. Now, a lot of these states, Colorado isn't just the only one. There's a slate of leftist-leaning lunatic states like Colorado that is putting bills together to combat the ruling. They don't even know what the ruling is yet. They just say, hey, we're going to go ahead and put these bills because now that thing they know is going to go ahead and overturn a lot of Roe versus Wade. So they're putting these bills into place. They're putting these bills into place to go ahead and to stop. Because look, folks, I hate abortion and I hate it with a passion. But I'm going to be honest with you, folks. This should be a state issue. Now, I don't think a state should go ahead and say, listen, y'all, you can have an abortion, whatever, in any phase of your pregnancy. That's stupidity, and that's I can't think what human being in their mind would think that abortion is okay. Look, a while back, I was a guest on a podcast where we debated this issue of abortion, and the hosts were bringing up all kind of scenarios to me. Why, you know what, if this person is, all the circumstances that would cause somebody to have an abortion. And I'm thinking to myself, who in their right mind thinks like this? A fellow human being. As I said at the start of this segment, we had a tragedy last week of a man going into a subway and shooting people with a firearm. And the world, oh, how horrible! This man took other people's lives. What made him think like that? What makes a governor think to take a life of a child or to make it law? Come on, telling me that a fetus don't have the human right. Didn't that, Mr. Governor, in your view, when does life start? When does that fetus become a human being? Because if it's at the heartbeat, it's at 6 weeks. This is what gets me upset about the left, folks. Look, I honestly think, this is my opinion for all the fact checkers out there. I honestly think these people don't think life starts when you're born. Oh, correction. Hold on. I know when life starts. It probably is when they're born, because that's when they become a constituent that could be a future voter for them 20, 30 years. And they can brainwash that child into thinking like the left. See, while they're in the mother's womb, apparently it's useless. But when the baby's born, we can go ahead and start indoctrinating it. We can go ahead and start letting it think like the left. And this makes me sick, ladies and gentlemen. That a governor, like I said, I wish I would have saw this 2 weeks ago. I would have talked about this 2 weeks ago. I didn't catch this bill. Like I said, I had 2 guests the last week, and I'm not blaming that on anything of that nature. It's just I weren't to get that going and all, but I missed this by some way, shape, or form. And that did, and like I said, I would still have the same passion that I have now. For a governor to stand up. And look, I'm going to go ahead and talk about some other cases in a minute, because in the little bit of time I have left, Kentucky's governor vetoed a bill that would limit that abortions had to stop at 15 weeks. A governor vetoing it. That dude is dumb. Now, I'm going to give props to what props do, not like Colorado's legislators that said, we tried stopping it. The Republicans, all the Republicans that over in Colorado, we tried stopping it. I'm sorry. Vote for us next time. We're going to stop it. No, Kentucky's legislators that said, you really vetoed a bill that we wanted. Guess what? We're going to override your veto. Now it's in law in Kentucky. Good, Kentucky legislators. Now vote out that leftist governor, and then you're going to have a good state. Props to Florida. Florida went ahead last Thursday, signed a bill into law that stops abortions at 15 weeks. Oh, that's barbaric. You're not giving the woman's right. What about the baby's rights? Oh, of course, I forgot. Colorado's governor, according to that left-leaning no-good nut, thinks that a baby don't have no rights. It's just a fetus. It's just a fetus. It don't have no feeling. Let's go on that point for example, folks. Like I said, the 2 states that did good, they listened to science. See, you notice the left, and I've always said this in my podcast. The left has always said, follow the science, everybody. But when it comes to abortion, this is what they say: throw science out the window. That ain't science. Because I don't know what's feeding these individuals to think like this nut from Colorado and the legislators over there. But I promise you, it's not a godly spirit. I'll be right back after this short break.
Cheers and good on you, boys and girls. My name is Scott Ford, and I have a show on Rumble. It's the Scott Ford Show, all in one word, the Scott Ford Show, and it's on Rumble. And I also have a motivational success show on YouTube. So go ahead and subscribe and ring that bell. That would mean a lot to me. Enjoy your life. Thank you, Isaac. God bless.
All right, everybody, welcome back to the third and final segment of the Cajun Conservative Show. Look, folks, I'm sorry, but this topic really gets to me. This topic really gets to me. And when I hear people talk about how, oh, this isn't about a baby's right, or it's a healthcare right. It's a healthcare. No, there's nothing. Tell me how a woman saying, I don't want to have this child because it's going to put my career in jeopardy, or it's going to go ahead and mess up my life, or I made a mistake and I didn't use protection, or he didn't use protection, so to cover up that mistake that we made, we're going to go ahead and have an abortion for my health. Of course, no, that's convenience. There's a difference with healthcare and convenience, and majority of abortions are not for health reasons. It's for convenience. And this governor signing this bill into law is just helping women to go ahead and have a convenient way to have an abortion. Well, it's a woman's right. And like I said, well, what about the rights? This Democrat, this nut, has already showed me what he thinks it is. He don't believe it's a baby, so it don't have human rights, which is stupid. And like I said, give props to Ron DeSantis. This man, look, I know y'all got, if you're listening in Florida, and you might not like what I'm about to say, but if you like the country and you love the country, you might agree as well. I hope this dude does run for president of the United States, and I hope he wins. Oh, what about Trump? Trump. If Trump gets the nominee, I vote for him. But I said this. I think I said this last week. I hope Trump don't run. I really don't. I hope this is what I hope Trump is doing, though. I hope Trump is making the left think that he's going to run, and he's hiding for somebody else to rise up in the power. I don't know. Like I said, ladies and gentlemen, I really don't hope Trump wins. I hope not win. I hope Trump don't run for president. I really don't. Maybe that's why I'm not on True Social yet. I don't know. Anyway, so we had some very, very important things that happened, like I said, this week. And getting back to my opinions, new polling reveals over the last few days. This was released. Let me see. Let me look at my notes. Monday, the 11th of April. New poll singles major problems for Democrats ahead of 2022 midterm elections. New polling released over the few days show that Democrat President Joe Biden and his party are in serious trouble as this November's 2022 midterms election nears. This is according to CBS poll. A CBS poll found that nearly 2/3 of Americans says the national economy was bad, which they're blaming on skyrocketing inflation rates and gas prices. We're about to get to this, ladies and gentlemen. This is leading up to that. The poll found that top issues for voters were the economy, inflation, and crime, that Biden gets low marks handling to them, with more than 60% of Americans disapproving of the way that Biden has handled all three issues. Like I said, what are the three issues? Crime, high inflation, and gas prices. Now, according to President Joe Biden, none of this is his fault. The economy was Trump's fault, which Trump had good economy, but it's all Trump's fault. Then the inflation problem, well, that's not his fault either. That's because of the supply chain issue, and the gas prices, that's because of Putin and the Russians. So it's none of the president's faults, ladies and gentlemen, according to President Joe Biden. But this week, President Joe Biden had an eye-opening remark. It was done. Let's see where the notes are. I believe it was Wednesday. It was Tuesday, the day after this poll came out. Inflation soars to 8.5 in March, hitting a new 40-year high. Now, I'm wondering, ladies and gentlemen, truly, when is this going to hit an all-time record? I don't know what is the all-time record of the high inflation, but every month they come out and say this hit a new 40-year high. Now, if you go back to who had the highest inflation going into it, the list, it wasn't this high since the first year of Ronald Reagan. Oh, see, it's Ronald Reagan. Ronald Reagan's a Republican. So it's just, no, because he inherited a high inflation from another Democrat that is sitting now, in my opinion, the second worst president ever. And that'd be Jimmy Carter. Jimmy Carter had high inflations, had a war. Everything went bad for Jimmy Carter. And Jimmy Carter got voted out and replaced by Ronald Reagan, which Ronald Reagan brought us back to prosperity. And that's why a lot of people are like, well, what about when Bill Clinton was there? Bill Clinton got in there because of George Bush, 41. He did a terrible job. Bill Clinton came in there and he was riding off the skirt of Ronald Reagan and Bush 41. We had 16 years of Republican policies, and Republicans blew it. Bush 41 blew it, folks. Read your history books. He blew. Well, he had George Bush 41, and may he rest in peace. Bush 41 had the best. He he had the best way to make a success. Right, he was coming off of Ronald Reagan. All he had to do was what Ronald Reagan did, and people probably would have voted him back in. But because of no new taxes, then he approved a tax bill. That kind of ticked off a couple of voters. That's history, folks. But anyway, inflation has ridden new high, and this poll showing that 60% of Americans don't like it. They're like, we don't like this. Also, gas prices are going down a little. That is because Joe Biden quietly opened up lands to oil drillers. This is coming from the Daily Caller. Biden quietly opens up land to drill, then come out and Biden administration resumes oil and gas leases on federal lands as gasoline prices soar. This is coming from Fox News. So this was done Friday and Saturday, folks. The Biden administration, to try to get some heat off them, are opening up federal lands. Now, I don't know if you've listened to the show too much, or if this is your first time, go back and listen. There was a dumb Cajun in Cajun country that's more intelligent than all the Democrats put together that said this. Hey, you know how you stop gas prices from rising? You open up gas lands. Now, this is a problem for the Biden administration because the Biden administration promised to get rid of fossil fuels. They promised to go ahead and turn everything to electric cars. If you remember a couple of weeks ago, now this is from my YouTube audience, go check me out on Apple, Google, and Spotify. If you go back and listen, the Biden administration was and people in the Biden administration was saying, hey, you know how you get these gas prices down? Or better yet, not even use gas prices? Go ahead and buy a $70,000, $80,000 electric car. That's the way to go, ladies and gentlemen. Buy electric cars. If you buy electric cars, you won't need gas. And if you don't need gas, you don't have to pay that high gas price at the gas pump. But in all reality, ladies and gentlemen, it won't work. Electric cars won't work. First off, electric grid can't hold all that. And it takes forever. So the Biden, that message really crumbled the Biden administration's argument to go ahead and buy electric cars, because people start saying, wait a minute, you want me to pay, you telling me to get out of paying $4 a gallon. I got to go buy a $70,000 electric vehicle, which my energy bill is going to go up. I'm going to have to wait forever for it to charge. And like a lot of people, it don't take that long to charge. It don't take that long to charge. Listen to this, ladies and gentlemen. This is the first time I've seen it. I was like, wow. Somebody's finally at that electric pump where we go shopping at. It was a local Walmart. They put up electric tanks. Listen, ladies and gentlemen, my wife went into Walmart and she stayed in there for about an hour. I stayed in the car. I don't like Walmart. I'd rather listen to the radio or listen to some good conservative podcasting or whatever. And I'm driving around because the baby was crying. I'm looking around. I'm like, electric car. I got there, and an hour later, that car was still charging up. Now, granted, the people maybe was sleeping. They didn't. But could you imagine that that person wanted to go ahead and hurry up and run out? Hey, man, I only got 10% battery left, and I really need to get back on the road because I got to be somewhere. See, if it was gas, man, I'm at a quarter of a tank. I need gas. Hey, gas filled up. Let's go. I got to charge the car. Looking at the watch. My goodness, 30 minutes passed already. Boy, it's going quick today. See, you just can't get out there in 5-10 minutes. That's one good thing about fuel. But the Biden administration is trying to go ahead and stop the bleeding, to stop the damage that they're doing. Now, look, and folks, this new poll is just proving a lot. This isn't the only poll that we're seeing that they're predicting that the Republican Party is going to go ahead and take the House at least. And if they take, and I honestly think the Republican Party is going to take the Senate. Now, and now that might cause a lot more troubles and stuff like that, because a lot of people have the notion. I don't have that notion because I'm against impeaching Joe Biden. And I get a lot of conservatives, and I get a lot of my friends look at me cross-eyed like, what? How dare you say that? We should get rid. Look, I don't think. Look, the Republican Party is going to be a brick to stop Biden and a lot of what he's doing, which I hope carries up to 2024. But I believe it was earlier this week, Kevin McCarthy talked about this. Let's see. Yeah, Kevin McCarthy said at the town hall, Republicans won't impeach Biden for political purposes, and I agree with that. They shouldn't impeach Biden for political purposes, like they shouldn't have tried to impeach Donald Trump for political purposes. But anyway, going back to the point though, the Biden administration is slowly starting to realize something. If we keep spending money, and in return of spending money, printing money, inflation is going to go up. That's the problem. And look, I'm going to be honest with you. I was against when Donald Trump did it, and I was against when Biden did it. And a lot of people might tell me, well, look, Biden and Trump giving all this money away, doing stimulus to help people through the pandemic was just outright plainly dumb. Oh, what'd you do with the money? I took it. What you want me to do? The government said, hey, here it is. Put it in your bank account. Go. Yeah, I used it. I'm not going to deny it. What, did I think it was smart? No. I think Trump and Biden was dumb for doing that because that caused inflation. And that, in the long run, made our debt go up. And that is hurting our nation. Now, Biden is trying. Oh, look. As I think it was the Daily Caller that said it, that they're doing it. The dailycaller.com, they're doing it quietly. Why they're doing it quietly? Because you see the people on the left that Biden promised to get rid of fossil fuels and to get rid of all the stuff that was bad for the environment he's trying to do to bring down the gas prices. So now the leftists and the progressives are all mad at him because he's opening up all lands and he's ruining the environment. Ladies and gentlemen, look, inflation is up. Gas prices up. They're predicting, I heard earlier this week that last week I heard that the wheat market is about to go up. Ladies and gentlemen, inflation at 8.5. We talked about Twitter in the first segment. Do you wish Donald Trump still had a Twitter account? I'm just being honest because everybody that voted, I don't like Donald Trump because he tweets bad. He goes ahead and he says mean things to Nancy Pelosi. He's unprofessional. He's unpresidential. Really? I would have took that before I took this. Come on, man. Hey, I would take a bad tweet. I would go ahead and get somebody offended if it helped out at the gas pump. Oh, what you trying to say? You condone what Donald Trump said? No, I did not condone everything Donald Trump said. Look, I voted for Trump twice, and I think Donald Trump's the biggest hothead person out there. I know with this with the 2020 debacle, that he's prideful. I'm gonna give him that. He can't take a loss. And I'm not saying that because I'm on YouTube, because look, I don't believe 81 million people voted for Joe Biden. That's my God honest opinion. But at the same time, I see how he's acting right here, and to be honest with you, I think he's very childish. And like I said, I like Donald Trump's policies help this nation. I believe that with my whole heart. Donald Trump helped this nation, and it brought America back to where it needed to be. But ladies and gentlemen, look, to be honest with you, I would go ahead and take that and get back to where we were when inflation was down and gas prices was down. Can you imagine a year and a half ago here in Louisiana, we was only paying $1.75 a gallon average. Now it's over $4 a gallon average. But because of a mean tweet, people didn't vote for him. Now, those same people, I don't like his tweet, are saying, I don't like the gas prices. I don't like high inflation. Oh, we can't get none on the shelves. Why? Remind me of that meme when that woman, ah! I'm being honest. I'm being honest. These people are not yelling because Donald Trump's president now. They're yelling because the gas prices are too high. Can you imagine that 60% of Americans, ladies and gentlemen, just listen to me for a second. That poll, let me quote it because people are gonna be like, oh, I didn't say that. Where's it at? And it's from the Daily Caller. The poll found that the top issues for voters were the economy, inflation, and crime. And we didn't even deal on crime yet. And that Biden gets low marks on handling them, with more than 60% of Americans disapproving of the way that Biden has handled all three issues. 60, but that is almost 2/3 of the nation does not like how Biden is handling on it. And look, like we said, look, in his State of the Union, that's why I was shocked when I heard it, when he said, the answer is not to defund the police, but to fund the police. So he wasn't saying, Democrats and all of them weren't saying that a few weeks prior to that, because now's the issue, and 2022 is coming up. And that's why Biden's opened up land. That's why he's trying to get gas prices down. That's why he's trying to stop inflation. It's not because he don't agree what he's doing or he came to a light. No, it's to help his party get reelected so he can keep his policies going. And that's the whole issue right there. So anyway, I'm gonna take 2 minutes to announce a few things. First of all, thank you if you listened to the whole thing. I said I was gonna. One, we're on YouTube now, the Cajun Conservative Show. Go check me out. Go subscribe. Go hit the bell, and let's start growing this YouTube channel. A lot of people might be asking why I'm going to YouTube. I think we should use these platforms to go ahead and get our message out. Now, do I have to go ahead and watch how I say things or try? Yes, the show's not going to change in my opinion. If YouTube tells me, hey, we're flagging your channel, it's done, you can't use it no more, well, then I already have Rumble. I still have Apple, Google, Spotify, and these, like I said earlier, they try censoring people, and I've never got flagged. That's a good thing. So I try to make sure everything I say is true. That's one thing I see a lot of podcasters, they just go ramble on and don't care about what they're saying. And this is an opinion show. But I am on YouTube now, so go check us out. We're also on Twitter, as I said earlier. But starting in the first week of May, we will be having 2 shows start coming out. As I always said, I wanted to do 2 shows, and it was kind of hard because of time and because of other things. Doing this line of work and doing my 40-hour, 50-hour job, along with another podcast and ministry, you have to place your time very well. Well, we have some things where we have to change up our schedule for Brothers Just Searching, which helps out the Cajun Conservative. So on that note, starting the first week of May, we will be having an episode on Wednesday mornings. Now it's going to cover Sunday, Monday, and Tuesday because we're still going to record on Sunday, which is going to go ahead and drop on Monday as normal. But we're going to cover the news from Saturday, Monday, and Tuesday. And I'm going to go ahead and record on Tuesday night, try to get it out on Wednesday. This is going to be a trial-based thing. I'm going to see how it works. If it don't work, but we're going to go ahead and start trying some things out. But for right now, we're going to start having 2 shows. People have been asking me, ladies and gentlemen, you the audience have been asking, well, we want a second show. And I'm going to go ahead and give y'all that second show. I hope you enjoy it. It's going to be the same thing. I think we better cover more news stories. I better give you more opinions. And I'm a little bit over my time, but the reason I'm doing this is because there's some stories that I'm real passionate about, and by the time I get to the end of the week to go ahead and do the one show, there's so much other stories that I can't really get to that one. As I said today, there's a lot of stories I wish I could get to and I just couldn't get to. But on that note, we're gonna go ahead on the first week of the first week of May. We're gonna go ahead and start our second show. I want to thank you for listening to the Cajun Conservative Show. If you have not yet, please hit that subscribe button. Please hit the follow button. Please tell a friend. Share it on Facebook. Go check out the Facebook page at the Cajun Conservative Show. Until next week, be blessed, be encouraged, and you have a good one.